Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
And you're listening to ODFM.
Today's episode is One Dahm from Murder.
Dominatrix.
Maybe. Are you ready?
Sex, murder.
Lies.
Let's do it. Lies. Sex, murder, lies.
All right. All the things that are right up our alley.
Yes. Woo! We can relate.
Okay. Are you ready?
I think so.
Think so?
Let's do it. I got my detective juice.
You got your detective juice.
Yes.
That's what you need. See if you can follow along here. Okay. All right. So this is spring of 1995.
Ooh, okay. We were cute and young. Memory.
Memories. Okay. Springfield, Illinois.
Ooh,
Spring of 1995.
there's a lot of spring going on.
Mark and Donnah Winger, which I think is really cool. Her name is spelled Donnah.
Oh, that
so
is
it's like a little different.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I like that.
So it's Mark and Donnah Winger. They have been happily married for 6 years.
Nice.
Donnah is 31 and she worked as an operating room technician. And Mark was a nuclear engineer.
Holy balls.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Okay.
He had a job with the state of Illinois. So
Wow. Oh, what are they doing in Illinois with nuclear?
I don't know. The story didn't go into that.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't research that part.
Maybe we don't want to know.
Yeah, we'll just.
Yeah.
So they are happily married, but they desperately wanted to have a family, right? And Donnah was unable to get pregnant.
Because you said winger. Close to wiener.
Wing.
Oh.
Wing. Okay.
Oh.
As fate would have it, one day at work, because she worked in the operating room, right?
Right.
A doctor told Donnah that there was a teenage girl looking to put her baby up for adoption.
Well, that's handy.
Right?
Yeah.
And so on June 1st, 1995, they brought home a baby girl.
Aww.
Like they had been hoping and dreaming.
Aww.
They named her Bailey,
Oh, cute.
and the Wingers became a family.
Okay.
And all of them had just like, Mark had been dying to become a father. She wanted to be a mother so bad. The whole family.
Aw, that gives me chills.
I know. So Donna's mother, Sarah Jane, and her two sisters, Jenny and Michelle, they were very close, all of them. And then her best friend, Deanne, they were all super excited about this baby.
I
And they
bet.
just showered her with love
Oh,
and
totally.
attention.
If I
right?
had a girl, I would still be poor because I would just buy all the clothes.
Buy all the things.
Mhm.
All the
Oh,
things.
yes.
In August, Donnah took her 3-month-old baby girl down to Florida to visit her mom and stepdad because that's where they
Aw,
lived. So they
gotta
went
show her
like,
off.
little mini
Yes.
vacation down there.
How cute.
And then on the way back, Donna's mom, so she flew from, so in Springfield, the closest airport is St. Louis,
Oh, okay.
but it's still like 2 hours away. So she had flown from an airport in St. Louis down to Florida, and her mom was like, oh, I don't want you to have to deal with the baby and all this stuff. She's like, so I'm going to hire you a shuttle to take you from the airport back home,
Yeah.
right? So she can just
Sweet.
focus on the baby and all that. Right.
Aw.
On the way back, Donnah takes this shuttle from the airport. It's about 100 miles. When she arrives home, she tells Mark that the shuttle ride was a stressful and frightening experience.
Oh, God. Oh.
Right? See, normally I would think just driving in a car with a 3-month-old
Right.
is a stressful
That's
and
stressful
frightening experience. But that's because they're in the back and they're screaming and you can't do
Oh,
anything. And you're like, oh
totally.
my God, I'm on the expressway. Please stop crying.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
God,
I'm
it's
having
so
flashbacks.
exhausting. I know. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or them puking and you're like, oh, my God.
Oh my God.
And, yeah. Having to
I've gotta
pull over. Ah.
So, you'd think that this would be like the easy, this is great.
We'll
I'll
be
just-
right there.
Yeah, I'll just sit with the baby and chill out for 2 hours. No.
Oh, shit. You have a race car driver or what?
Well, according to Donnah, the driver was speeding and driving erratically. And when you have a newborn, you're like,
Jesus, you're scared to death anyway.
Don't pick her up too fast. Like,
right.
Like everything's like, she shouldn't move that quickly. Like,
this guy's on the Autobahn.
Right. He's speeding, he's driving erratically, and he kept talking to her about using drugs, having orgies, and killing people.
Oh, fantastic.
Right.
He sounds
and she's
like a peach.
trapped in a car with this guy for like 2 hours.
And this was before you could do ratings on Uber and be like,
right, yeah,
do
exactly.
not go with
She
Vincent.
Can't text anybody and be like, oh my God.
This guy
she's
is
just
horrible.
there.
Oh, right? God.
Okay, so Donnah later told her sister Jenny Levin about the experience. According to Jenny, quote, it was about a 2-hour drive and there was a lot of time to talk.
Oh, no.
The gentleman started opening up to Donnah about issues he was having. He had a voice in his head named Dahm.
Oh, my.
D-A-H-M. Dahm.
Oh.
And Dahm would tell him to do bad things.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I would be like, I wouldn't want to be in there myself, let alone with like my newborn baby.
No. Can you drop us off on the nurse corner, please?
Right. And recently, Dahm was telling him to hurt people.
Oh, fantastic. Dahm needs to go into hospital now. I hear him too.
Right. We need to.
Oh, God.
Let's just tell Dahm to just hold his horses for a little bit, okay?
Is it like Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out if it was short for something or what. I couldn't find anything.
He's like, I could do the splits.
When I Googled it, like some people have it as their last name, but I couldn't find anything like it didn't come from like a movie or anything that I could find anyway. So Donnah also said that the driver started flirting with her.
Oh.
And told her that he liked older women. Now she's 31. I was like,
how old is he? He's like 17.
No, I think later he's like in his late 20s.
Oh.
So we're talking like a handful of years here. I like older women.
Funny. Older women who've had babies. You're a MILF.
Right. Yeah. And if this guy ever wanted to get a chick, this is the last thing he should be saying.
Maybe don't tell her about your hallucinatory best friend.
Yeah. Right. Or that you like older women before you know whether she's really older than you or not.
No
Just
doubt.
a little tip.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Also, don't assume someone is pregnant.
Oh, God. Never.
That is the other one.
Never.
Yeah.
Just assume they're bloated.
Wait for them to tell you.
Don't comment. So he was flirting with her, told her that he liked older women, and even invited her to attend what he described as one of his sex parties.
Oh, boy. That is tempting. Let me check my schedule.
Wow. Yes. I'm really busy. Baby, got to get a sitter. Let me just get back to you.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
She gets home. Mark immediately calls the transportation company and makes a complaint to the driver's boss.
Good.
And
good for her.
They say that the driver is going to be suspended.
Which you'd feel bad about, but come on. Like, don't just suspend him. Maybe get him some help.
That's, you're supposed to talk about like the weather and shit. Like,
yeah.
like,
orgies, fun.
Orgies and,
killing people.
Sometimes I do bad things because Dahm tells me, like, no, like, don't. Mark encouraged Donnah to write out the details of what happened.
Oh.
While it was fresh, just in case,
pretty smart. Yeah.
Right? So she wrote him, like, I don't think she wanted to. I think she wanted to be like, I never want to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, no, write it out, right? A few days later, on August 29th, 1995.
Okay.
A few days after the trip back and the shuttle. A hysterical-sounding Mark Winger calls 911 to report that he just shot a man who was killing his wife.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
When police and paramedics arrive, the bodies of 2 victims could be seen from the front door laying on the floor. So as you're looking in, you can see them both laying on the floor. Donnah was barely clinging to life. She had been hit in the head with a hammer 7 times.
Oh, my God.
Very violent. The other victim, a white man, still had a pulse, but he had been shot in the head twice.
Well, I don't blame him.
Right. So Mark told police he was on the treadmill in the basement when he heard a noise upstairs. Mm-hmm. So he went up to investigate. First, I don't know exactly the layout of the house, but I guess first he went to the master bedroom and looked and found the baby Bailey was laying on the bed.
Yeah, which would be like, why are you here alone?
Right, why isn't she, in a crib or whatever? I don't, Then he heard more noises, so he grabbed his handgun from the nightstand and headed down the hall toward the dining room.
He like flat out quick assumed something bad was happening.
Yeah, they were not good noises.
Okay.
I guess. From the hall, he saw a man using a hammer to hit Donnah in the head.
Oh.
So Mark said he shot the man, who fell backwards, and then he shot him a second time because he started to get back up.
Oh, creepy. It's that guy and Dahm. You got to get a shot in for both.
Well, maybe one of them was Dahm, right? Maybe it was like, maybe the one guy was down, but
Dom's
was
like, I'm coming
not
in.
done.
I'm going to come in with my jujitsu skills and splits.
Jeez. Before the injured man was taken away by ambulance, Springfield police detective Charlie Cox found the man's wallet and was able to identify him as 27-year-old Roger Harrington. Both victims died shortly after they arrived at the hospital.
No. This was only a few weeks after the Florida thing?
So it was a week after, like a couple days after the Florida thing.
Oh, no.
So...
Baby's still tiny.
And the baby was just 3 months old, and I think they adopted her like right after she was born. So, yeah, quite a traumatic life for this little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Police recovered a bloody hammer near where the bodies have been and found Mark Winger's .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun, a yellow mug, and a pack of cigarettes on the dining room table.
Okay. If he's a runner or on the treadmill, you wouldn't think he smokes, but...
Great point.
But you never know.
Good point. You never know. Mm-hmm. You know. So Donna's note describing the shuttle ride was on the fridge. It was like the magnet on the fridge.
Oh,
so she had written it out. It was right there on the fridge.
Yeah.
It was discovered that a car parked on the street in front of the Wingers' house, but facing the wrong direction.
Oh,
so it was pulled up on their side of the street,
but facing the wrong direction.
I hate when people do that.
I hate it too.
But facing the wrong direction, that car actually belonged to Roger Harrington.
Oh.
And on the front seat, scribbled on a scrap of paper, was Mark Winger's name, address, and 4:30 p.m.
Whoa. Yikes.
So while police were going over the crime scene, Mark asked if the intruder's name was Roger. When Detective Cox confirmed that it was, Mark replied, "Oh my God, that's the man who's been harassing my wife this week."
This week, because there's one every other week. This is different ones.
This is
this
just from this one,
week.
the most recent, right? Mark explained that over the previous few days, Donnah had been receiving some strange phone calls.
Ew.
And the Wingers believed that the shuttle driver that they had reported had been harassing her, probably for getting suspended or fired or whatever, right?
And he would have her number just in case, like, because of drop-offs and all that kind of information. And her address.
Because he had to bring her to the house, right?
Oh, creepy.
So Detective Cox was familiar with Roger Harrington, which I thought it was weird that he didn't recognize him. Or maybe he did recognize him, but he needed to get his wallet just to
verify.
Confirm. Or he was shot in the head, so I don't know if he was not able to be identified.
He might not look the same. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Detective Cox was familiar with Roger Harrington as he owned the trailer park where Roger and his now former wife had lived. So Roger had been married and they had both lived at this trailer park.
Wow.
He had even broken up a physical fight between the couple once.
Oh, shit.
Right.
So, he's violent.
Police also were aware that Roger had a history of psychiatric care and was known to have delusions. Dahm.
Yeah, like an alter ego.
Named Dahm. But when Roger Harrington's family was informed of his death and the circumstances that led to it, they refused to believe that he was capable of such thing. His mother, Helen Harrington, said, "He was no troublemaker. He was a good kid. He wouldn't even strike at anybody. I don't think he would have hurt anybody, and I don't think he was crazy."
Mom is also delusional.
Yeah, Mom, I think, has like that parental blinder thing on. Yeah. My kid can do no wrong type situation.
Sounds like it. Uh-oh.
The Sangamon County District Attorney agreed with police that Mark Winger had acted in self-defense and decided not to file any charges with him shooting Roger Harrington. And within 48 hours of Donna's murder, the case was closed.
Wow. They're just like,
so thanks for that. Thanks for listening to this episode. Yeah. That's all. I'm just kidding. You're like,
that was a good mini-sode.
Woo, was nice and short. I thought this would be a good place for a break.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, that was solved quickly.
That was fast. I feel like there should have been more detail. No? Are you ready?
I think so.
I mean, it feels like the case is closed, right?
Yeah,
All's good, right?
I feel like I know what happened, but okay.
Right, so, So for the next few months, Donna's mother, Sarah Jane Drescher, and her two sisters, Jenny and Michelle, took turns traveling to Illinois. They didn't live in Illinois. traveling to Illinois to help Mark take care of the baby because, new infant, dad,
He's
by himself.
Probably working.
Right.
Oh.
But over time, this proved to be too difficult to continue doing. So they suggested that Mark hire a nanny.
And their name is Drescher.
Well, Sarah...
Like the nanny.
Yes, but the nanny's name isn't Drescher.
No. Okay.
The mom's it. But anyway.
But the mom.
Okay.
But still.
Yes.
They were like...
Nice catch.
Yeah.
Very good. We have our
Fran.
pop culture down. Fran.
Yes.
Sarah Jane said, quote, I loved Mark because he loved Donnah, and that's what was important to me. But I had to be very careful because I didn't want to ruin my relationship with him because I didn't want to ruin my relationship with the baby. I wanted to be a grandma, and Bailey made me a grandma.
Aww.
So she was like the first grandchild on that side. Right? So it was like, they were all excited. There's finally a baby in the family and all this.
I'll do whatever to keep things on the good.
Exactly. So in January of 1996, so like that happened in August, so just the following January, Mike hired 23-year-old Rebecca Simic, a recent college graduate, to be a live-in nanny for his infant daughter, Bailey. Okay. Rebecca was moved by Bailey's story. She said, she lost 2 mothers by the time she was 3 months old, and she was so smiley. I wanted to get in there and say, I'm going to help. I'm going to make this little girl's life better.
Oh,
I know, right? And I saw, because I watched like a 2020 on this, I saw video, like she just loved this little girl, right? I was like, that's so awesome. Although it was hard to imagine Bailey growing up without Donnah. Her family was happy that Mark had someone to help him. Right. Donna's sister, Jenny Levin, said, I didn't want to like Rebecca, but it was hard not to like her. Seeing her with Bailey, there was just really nothing bad we could say about her. It just wasn't Donnah. Yeah,
they felt like she was like a little bit of a replacement, but...
Right, but it's like,
But then she's so great, they're just like, okay.
Exactly, right?
Good for the baby.
But Donna's best friend, Deanne Schultz, made no effort to hide her dislike for Rebecca.
Oh, no. Yikes.
And while she pushed really hard to stay involved in her best friend's daughter's life, she made Rebecca very uncomfortable.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's really, women,
I know, can be so catty. And
yeah, we're not good.
Yeah, it's so hard.
So within a few months of moving in, Mark and Rebecca's relationship became romantic.
Uh-oh. And she's only 23?
Yeah, and he's 32.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. And she just graduated school. Like, this is her first, she's very new to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
shoot.
Yeah. So, according to Rebecca, when you live with someone and take care of a child together, it's very easy to kind of play house. You're already put in those roles. Mark made me feel like I was an angel sent to him from God or Donnah, and it was my purpose to make this family whole again.
Oh, wow. No pressure.
Right? Jeez. Exactly. Yeah, I just was going to do this for like a year. Get some cash.
Your mom now.
Right. She said, I remember asking him how he could move on so quickly. And he explained to me that when you have a good marriage, it's natural for you to just want that again.
Okay, that seems odd.
I feel like if you had a good marriage, you kind of wouldn't want somebody else.
Right. You'd be like so heartbroken that it'd be hard to move on. But
yeah, okay, right. I'm like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird too.
I guess I don't know men that well, though. I'm bad at reading men.
No, I'm not going to say that I'm any better. Then Rebecca was shocked to find out that she was pregnant.
Oh, she is.
Mark had told her he wasn't able to have children, so they hadn't been careful.
What a dick. Come on.
Donnah couldn't get pregnent. I don't know why he thought he could.
He's making excuses because he's one of those, like, I don't wear a condom. Ugh.
There you go, right?
Gross.
So he was thrilled to have another child, and he wanted them to get married right away.
Wow.
Everything's happening in front of her, like, real fast.
Wow.
She's like, whoa.
Yeah.
1 minute, I was in the dorm. And now...
now I'm a mom and...
I have a kid
a mother
and another one on the way.
Jesus. No.
Right? Mark, who was Jewish, started going to church with Rebecca, and he told her they could raise a family in a Christian home.
Okay.
When Mark Winger's rabbi, Michael Datz, asked him about his change in faith, Mark said to him, Judaism is just too difficult and unforgiving. but Mark wouldn't explain what he needed forgiveness for.
Oh, gotcha. So now he's suddenly Catholic?
Yeah, now he's, and like, I didn't really go into it, but like before, like, Donna's from a Jewish family. He was, and so like when they got married, it was like she was marrying a nice Jewish boy with a good
boy. Right,
with a good career ahead of him and stuff. And now he's like, I'm going the other way.
Assuming they would raise their babies in the faith, and
So, but now he's got Rebecca, and Rebecca's Catholic or whatever, and so or Christian, and so
So they're like, right.
Mark and Rebecca eloped in Hawaii just 15 months after Donna's murder.
Oh,
yeah, right.
That's really fast.
And then the month after that, they moved to a farmhouse outside of Springfield to accommodate their growing family.
Okay.
Rebecca formally adopted Bailey.
Oh, okay.
And over the next 4 years, they had 3 more children.
Oh, good God.
So there's 4 of them now. So they got Bailey, and then 2 girls, Anna and Maggie, and then a boy named Ben.
Oh.
So 4 kids.
Ooh, I'm overwhelmed.
In the 4 year, like she went to high school for 4 years, then she went to college for 4 years, and then she got out, and 4 years later, she's a mom of 4.
That's a lot.
Right?
Holy balls.
And it didn't even say what she went into school for. Like, I hope it was early childhood.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it's for childcare.
You know, I mean, if it was for something else, like if she wanted to do like interior design or whatever, you're shit out of luck now.
Or you got to wait until they're older.
Yeah, right? So Donna's family kept trying to keep in Bailey's life as much as they could, but Mark started pulling away.
Oh, no. I had a feeling.
According to Donna's mom, Sarah Jane, I received a letter from Mark one day saying to me I could not be called Grandma.
Wow, what?
Yeah. I wrote him back and begged, please let her call me Grandma.
Is there a grandma limit?
Because, what's the big deal, right?
Right.
I mean, like, my kids call all of, like, my friends, like, Auntie this and Auntie that. Like, it's, right, I don't, get it. But this is what was weird to me. So this is, like, 96, 97. He wrote to her about this, and then she wrote back. I'm like, who fucking writes letters?
I know we had emails back then.
Right. I would have been like, I would have picked up the phone going, like, I'm going to be called Grandma.
Right. Absolutely.
It was really, So I was just like, they're writing? So anyway, that was just really has nothing to do with the story. So he said, I'm sorry, there's no way I'm going to allow her to call you Grandma, and that's the way it is.
Whoa. Wow. That's cold.
Yeah. And although their visits with Bailey came to an end, Donna's parents still sent her a birthday card every single year.
But did she ever get them?
I guess I did see a thing where she got them, but like after a while, she was like, who's Sarah Jane and so-and-so again? And they'd be like, oh, that was your mom's parents. And so she was like, okay. Like, it was just like these people that send her a card.
Oh, how sad.
She didn't really know who they were at that point,
Okay. I'm liking him less and less.
Right? Mark periodically visited the Springfield police to inquire about Donna's case.
Oh.
Which was suspicious because it was close.
It's like, close. What's he worrying about?
Okay, there was an intruder, you shot him, self-defense, the end. But every once in a while, we just pop in and be like, so hey, how's it going on the case?
Did you find anything new?
Weird, right?
Yeah, the case is closed, so I don't know what you think you're trying to find, but...
Right. We're not really investigating it anymore, so...
Weird.
It was very odd. So he keeps, just, hey, anything new? And they're like, no, because we have open cases.
Yeah, but now I'm going to kind of look into yours because this is
you're
weird.
weirding us out. Then in February of 1999, Donna's friend, Deanne Schultz, went to police and told them that she had been having an affair with Mark at the time of Donna's death.
Oh, no wonder she didn't like Rebecca being there.
Right?
Wow.
Plus, nice best friend.
Yeah. Wow.
So apparently around this time, February 99, she had run into Mark and Rebecca together at the hospital where she used to work with Donna. That's how they got to be friends, right?
Oh, wow.
And when she saw them together these couple years later, she was like, I got to say something. So apparently she had gone through a lot of struggles after Donna was murdered and went into a deep depression and had even attempted suicide a couple times.
Okay.
So, it was kind of weird that she was coming out about this later, but
she probably felt a lot of guilt too. Well, she should have. I mean,
I hope so.
God.
So Deanne told police their affair started in July of 1995, just a month before Donnah was killed, which I'm like, okay, the baby came in June.
Yeah. So what?
That's still like, it's all still new baby stuff. What, like, Donnah, like, suddenly is taking care of this baby, so he's like, well, I gotta go get me somewhere else.
I'm bored.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No shit.
So, yeah, right?
Gross.
So it started just the month before Donnah was killed, and it continued for several months after.
Jesus.
But then,
after she was killed?
Mm-hmm.
But then Rebecca moved in.
But then Rebecca came in, right? Okay.
And she's young, fresh meat. So.
Right? Mm-hmm. So she told police that Mark had told her that he wanted out of the marriage and he wanted to be married to Deanne so that they could raise Bailey together.
Okay, so get a divorce. Or
right, I don't understand.
Why even
they just got this
adopting?
Baby? Was he or like was he not gonna go through with adopting a baby? But then all of a sudden, this baby was like presented to them,
and
so then he felt trapped, or what?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Right at the time, it seemed like, oh my god, how perfect!
Yeah,
here's this couple, they want a baby. Here's this girl who needs a home. Oh my god! Right?
What?
Mark said that he wanted Donnah out of the picture permanently, and even mentioned killing her.
Good God.
And then suggested that Deanne participate by maybe being the one to discover her body. This is supposedly her best friend.
Why don't you go and tell the police that years ago first? Be like, this is my best friend.
Yeah, she thought it was just crazy. Like, I don't know. She thought it was just crazy talk and he wasn't serious. And I'm like,
I've never heard anybody talk like that.
I mean, I know, like, when you have a new baby, you're, like, sleep deprived and stuff, but that's not...
No, I've never... No.
No. Let's see. So, Deanne told Mark she didn't want to be a part of it. She didn't tell him not to do it. She said she didn't want to be a part of it.
Go for it, but don't drag me into your shit.
Whatever you want to do, but just let me know how it all...
These are quality people, gotta say.
But after Donnah's terrible experience with the shuttle driver, Mark said to Deanne, I got to get this guy in my house.
So that's why he had the note with Mark's name on it. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
He thought he had the perfect plan, right?
Wow.
Investigators decided to reopen the case and re-examine all the evidence, right? Because they're like, maybe this wasn't an open and shut case.
Yeah.
Okay, but they discovered they no longer had possession of any of the physical evidence. Because all the physical evidence had been handed over to Mark Winger's attorney, who was working on a civil lawsuit against the transportation company. Because Mark was suing them, holding them accountable for his wife's death.
He's trying to get money from them.
Right? Oh, he's a stand-up guy, isn't he?
So great. Wow.
So he's suing the transportation company. So they had all the stuff. And Mark had come to the police station the January after the murder to ask for his gun back, which they gave him because the case was closed.
Yeah.
Woo. So they don't have the gun anymore, and all the other evidence, they don't have it, right? Police had to start by concentrating on the other stuff that they had.
Okay.
For now, until they could get a hold of the evidence.
Wow.
So they're looking back at the scene, and they're like, well, there were no signs of forced entry, and it was odd that Donnah would have willingly let in a man who was harassing her inside.
Oh, for sure.
Or if, like, even if she didn't realize that was him, if she was like, oh, there's a guy here and someone's been harassing me and I have a new baby, come in.
Like, come on in. Right? Oh, it's you. Right. How's the orgy business?
How's Dahm? Is he good?
How's Dahm?
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I talk to him for a minute? Wow.
Also, Roger Harrington had potential murder weapons in his car, including a tire iron and a knife. But instead, the hammer that he used actually had belonged to the Wingers. It had already been on their kitchen table.
Oh, how convenient. Huh.
So he didn't come with a weapon.
He just like, I'll find one when I'm there. There'll be something I can use.
I like to, I was going to say wing it, but their last name is Winger. So.
I like to wing it at the Wingers. At least he doesn't wiener it at the wieners.
Stop, the wieners. Wrong story.
Oh.
Also, police noted that Roger Harrington's car had been parked the wrong way on the street in front of their house. And that told them that, like, he wasn't trying to hide the fact that he was there. Like, he wasn't trying to, like...
Because it would be really obvious. People would notice.
Exactly, right? So it wasn't like... So this was all very strange. If someone was going there to attack somebody...
Yeah, they're going to
either they're
probably
really
park
dumb.
A block away. Right.
Right, or... So then detectives, when they finally did get the evidence back, they discovered Polaroid photos that had been taken by one of the officers who was first to arrive at the scene.
Ooh, good.
These Polaroids revealed the positions of the bodies before they were rushed to the hospital. And they didn't fit what Mark had told them. Do you experience digital eye strain from too much blue light exposure from digital screens? Baxter Blue glasses are not your average frames. These blue light lenses filter 80% of the highest energy blue light, eliminating 99% of glare. The past year, we have all been glued to our devices more than ever.
Yeah, no joke. My phone keeps telling me that my screen time has skyrocketed within the last year. So, yeah. Our exposure to digital light has soared, and our eyes and our sleep are suffering as a result. Baxter Blue is also a force for good and provides a pair of reading glasses for someone in need for every pair sold. This is eyewear built for our digital age, and Baxter Blue is giving our listeners 10% off your next purchase of blue light, sleep, or kids glasses. Click the link in our show notes for your exclusive discount.
This is the sign you've been waiting for to invest in blue light glasses. We know you will love your Baxters, and we know that you will feel the difference. Sangamon, the assistant state's attorney in the story, right?
This guy.
His name is Steve Weinhoft, the state's attorney.
Okay. The state's attorney, Steve.
Yes. Right.
All right.
Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Said Mark Winger had stated that Roger Harrington was kneeling down right next to Donnah Winger's head as he was beating her with the hammer. He stated that he shot him and that the man fell backwards so that his feet remained near Donna's head, right? So he shot him, he fell backwards, so his feet would be close to Donnah. Okay. But in the Polaroid photographs showed the opposites. They actually showed that Roger and Donnah were laying in the same direction. So their heads were in the same spot and their feet were in the same spot.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Which doesn't really match up with one person attacking the other.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, that doesn't really make sense. Then in December of 1999, more than 4 years after the murders or killings or whatever you want to say, the Springfield State Journal Register ran an article alleging that Mark Winger had arranged the murders himself. So, not the police. There was a story in the paper.
Oh, shit.
Because of the civil suit against them, the transportation company hired a blood spatter expert who claimed the crime scene did not match Mark Winger's story. So if he had just shut his face, if he hadn't tried to sue the company, if he hadn't kept bugging the police going, just checking to make sure the case is still closed.
We haven't found anything new, have you?
Yeah, idiot. So the transportation company is like, fine, then we're going to do our own investigation. And they're like, yeah, this doesn't match up.
Good.
And then detectives learned that Roger Harrington's roommate at the time had told police, back when they were first investigating this, they found it in the files, they had initially told police that she witnessed Roger on the phone with somebody who asked him to meet on the day of the murders, which explained the note that was in Roger's car with Mark's name, address, and time to be there.
Oh, yeah.
On August 23rd, 2001, 6 years after the deaths, a grand jury indicted Mark Winger for the murders of Roger Harrington and Donnah Winger.
Wow.
A warrant was issued for his arrest, and he was taken into custody while he was at work.
Oh, in front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
His new wife, Rebecca, was completely blindsided.
Oh, no. How sad. But thank God she's around now because she can take care of Bailey.
The babies? All the babies. So many babies.
So many babies. Oh, my God.
She said, I had made plans to go to McDonald's Playland, which when you have 4 kids, that's
oh, my God. All I can think is germs, though. Every time I take mine, they would get sick afterwards. Yeah.
I used to go there just to like when it was
have a
winter,
moment.
yes. Yeah. They would run.
Same.
Please go run. Just run.
And then one of them would get stuck way up in the tunnel.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, I have to crawl up in the dirty, germy tunnel.
Well, I only went, there was a new one by my house. So I was like, okay, it doesn't have years of germs, just like 6 months of germs. So I would take them to that one. But
every time.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So she had made plans to go to McDonald's Playland, she said. We were there and I got a phone call and it was Mark's secretary. And she told me that Mark had just been arrested. And I was sick. Like my whole body just kind of went numb. I just couldn't believe it. I was shaking so badly. Aww. And I just remember feeling so scared. Rebecca was left to care for all 4 of their children. They were all under the age of 7.
Oh my God. That's so
4
exhausting.
kids under 7.
God.
Yep. So,
I moved to the grandmas. Like, I'm coming.
Yeah. At first, even Donna's family was in disbelief. They're like, no. They had this awesome marriage. They were so in love, blah, 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 blah. But by the time the trial started in May of 2002, they had a change of heart, which if I'm looking at this right, when he got arrested. Yeah. So their youngest baby had just been born. So she had like a newborn.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He was only like a couple months old.
She's like nursing at trial.
Oh God. Fun. Oh my God.
I just wouldn't bother going. Oh, you're a piece of shit.
Right.
Yes, we're getting divorced.
Well, she was like, this was like, she was clueless. She was like, this is not, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know, she had thought her husband was this hero who had, you know.
nuclear engineer.
Yeah, right. And, you know, they have this great marriage and all this. And so Donna's sister, Michelle, said, the first time I saw Rebecca was at the trial. I wanted to love Rebecca. She adored Bailey. But I also wanted to hate Rebecca because Rebecca took my sister's husband, married him, adopted her child, and then had 3 more children that my sister wasn't able to do.
Yeah, I can understand, but it's not her fault.
It wasn't Rebecca's fault, right?
Such a douche.
Yeah. She's like another victim in all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is what she is.
Absolutely.
The prosecution set out to prove that Roger Harrington had gone to the house to meet with the Wingers, not to commit murder.
Right.
That he had gone there because Mark had invited him.
Right. Like, hey, let's talk.
Right.
Let's have an orgy. With Dahm.
Bring Dahm.
Put him on the back burner.
We'll take some drugs. We'll have a little orgy situation.
Oh, God.
Blech.
Yeah.
The prosecution presented the cigarettes and coffee mug that he'd brought inside and were found on the table. Like, I'm going to go commit murder, but I'm going to bring my coffee and I'm going to bring my cigarettes.
Okay, so those were his.
So bizarre,
I'm
right?
going to come hang out. Yeah.
As well as they presented the potential weapons that he left in his car.
Yeah, we'll use whatever I find.
Exactly, right? I mean, and then they presented the note that had Mark Winger's name and address written on there. So they're like, this is not a guy who was going there to commit murder.
So always go tell someone where you're going.
With his Dunkin' Donuts coffee and his,
cigarettes.
Whatever. Defense, however, argued that Roger Harrington had a history of mental illness and that he had behaved erratically, and that meant he was capable of murder. Now, those don't go hand in hand.
No,
they can.
They could, but it's not always a given.
Exactly, right? You can be erratic and and strange behavior and not be a murderer. Like
for sure, all of us,
right?
Everyone who listens to this.
So, that was their defense: was he'd been acting crazy.
No, we all do at some point. So
how crazy does he have to be to bring his cigarettes and coffee to a murder?
I mean, that's just stupid.
I don't want to get tired in the middle of it. I need some coffee.
And afterwards, I'm going to need a cigarette.
Exactly. Well, that was for after the orgy.
Oh, right.
He was going to need a cigarette. So Detective Jim Graham testified, it's our belief that Roger comes to the house. He's allowed into the home. Mm-hmm. There was no sign of forced entry, and he was executed at that time.
Ah, damn.
Hearing the gunshot, Donnah Winger comes from the bedroom, leaving the baby on the bed, to investigate. Then he beats his wife to death with a hammer. Then Mark calls 911. That's what they think actually happened.
Yeah. What a psycho.
In the 911 call, Mark tells the operator there was a bullet in the man's head, and Roger can be heard moaning in the background.
Oh.
Then Mark tells the operator he can hear his baby crying and hangs up on the 911 operator. Which they just took as, well, obviously he's frantic and all this. But they made a note in the tape that they heard Roger moaning. They didn't hear any baby noises, right? There's no baby, he's just like, my baby's crying, I gotta go, and hangs up. And then when police arrive, Roger has 2 bullets in his head.
Oh my God. He's like, this guy can tell what really happened. I better make sure he's dead.
Right.
Hold on, gotta get the baby.
Right. Oh, God. Then Deanne Schultz, Donna's BFF.
Yeah.
They're they're buddies. Yes.
Such a gal.
Right. She testified that after seeing Mark and Rebecca 3 years after the murder, that she confronted Mark alone and asked how he could live with himself.
Wow, that's ballsy, actually, because he could kill her, too.
Right. So she went up to him and was like, so obviously this is what prompted her to go to the police.
Yeah.
She stated that he told her that he had found Jesus Christ and was forgiven.
Don't think that's how that works. I found him in the backyard, and he was like, dude, you're good.
That's the missing piece of the puzzle that he didn't tell the rabbi.
Yes, I found Jesus, and he told me I'm good, so I'm gonna go out.
But then Mark warned her that if she said anything, they would both be in trouble.
Oh,
but she was like, no. She went to the police anyway.
I didn't do anything, so except for cheat.
Except for a couple things. Right.
Yeah.
The trial only lasted 3 weeks. Whoa. On June 5th, 2002, the jury found Mark Winger guilty on both counts of first-degree murder.
Yes.
And a month later, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Oh, thank God.
Right?
Good.
He was his own...
Oh, he was his own worst enemy. He shut his mouth.
They were like, okay, case closed, moving on.
Although running into Donnah, thank goodness.
Yeah,
that happened.
Deanne. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Deanne.
Ooh, yeah, Donnah.
Maybe there wasn't another hospital there, but maybe don't go to that hospital.
Yeah, maybe
that's where they ran into.
Yeah.
Obviously they made it 3 years without running into her at the grocery store. So
or maybe move away. I'm sure he could find that job somewhere else.
It was weird. So Roger Harrington's name was cleared, so his family was happy that he wasn't,
that poor guy.
That wasn't going to be his legacy, right? Yeah. Donna's family finally knew the truth about her murder. It really didn't change things for them. But Rebecca and her 4 kids were not prepared for the verdict.
Yeah.
She expected Mark to go home after the trial because she thought this was all nuts. She had no clue.
That's too bad.
And when he was convicted, their youngest child, Ben, was only a year old.
Oh, babies. How sad.
Oh, I can't even. Good luck.
Those poor kids.
Here's another quote from her. When we lose someone, we gather, we have a funeral, Rebecca said. But when someone goes to prison, well, what do? You're just kind of left with this emptiness, this hole that you can't really have closure with that.
Totally.
She got screwed big time. She got stuck with 4 kids.
Well, and think of society kind of puts you in with him.
Oh, yeah. She said, I don't think I have that quote, but she kind of said, she was like, they were all guilty by association, even though she was like, she had no clue. She was completely clueless. Aww. Plus, I don't have it in here either, but I saw something or I read something where she was like, she didn't believe Deanne, the friend, because she's like, why didn't she say something right away? Yeah. Yeah. So she didn't, so she was like, oh, so that's not going to hold up either. She just was like, this can't be true. Right? So Rebecca had been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years.
Oh, man.
So the bank foreclosed on their farmhouse.
Oh, God.
She and the kids moved away from Springfield and moved in with her brother because they wanted to have a fresh start. Yeah. Everybody knew their name. Oh, so she filed for bankruptcy and went on welfare. Oh, and then she divorced Mark, and she and all of the children all legally changed their names from Winger back to her maiden name.
Good for her.
So,
how sad.
So I was still like, okay, is this real? Is this not? Was he really the bad guy that we thought he was? Was he really this? But then there's this little part here. So soon after, and this wasn't there was just a little snippet of it in the 2020 that I watched. But then when I was doing other research for the episode, I found this and I was like, oh no, this guy's a total dick.
This guy's a dick. Okay.
Soon after settling into prison, Mark befriended a fellow inmate named Terry Hubble, who was also in jail for beating a woman to death.
Oh.
They
Fun.
bonded.
Yeah.
They were like buds, right?
Aw, you did that too?
Right?
Aww.
Oh my God, me too!
Oh, how fun.
So, you want to save me a seat at lunch? We'll go sit.
We'll go sit together. We'll talk about beating girls.
Right, exactly. What did you use? I used a hammer. Mark gave Terry Hubble a 19-page handwritten note outlining a murder-for-hire plan while he was in there. This guy's not smart. Don't write shit down.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
This guy's not smart. I mean,
Wow.
He might be like a nuclear engineer and he's like book smart, but like street smart, he doesn't have it, right? 19-page handwritten note.
Jesus
Mark
Christ.
described wanting to kidnap Jeff Gelman, a friend of his who had declined to pay his bail in 2001. Apparently he was very upset about that.
This is so ridiculous. You are not my friend. You shall pay.
Exactly. What he wanted to do was he wanted to extort a large sum of money in exchange for not hurting Jeff Gelman's family. So he wanted someone to kidnap him. He was trying to get Terry to find somebody
it's like a
to
ransom.
kidnap this guy, right? And then get a ransom. However, once the money was paid, the plan was to kill Jeff and the family.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
It's like, it's so easy. Let's just keep this up.
I'm not done.
Oh, God. Well, it was 19 pages, so.
Right. Then he was going to take that money and he was going to use it to pay a hitman to kidnap Deanne Schultz.
Jesus. Come on.
Right?
Let it go, dude.
Right. They're going to kidnap her and then force her to record and write statements that she had committed perjury during the trial and say that Mark was innocent. And then once that was done, Deanne Schultz would be killed, but her death should look like a suicide. He was very specific. He wanted, this is what he wrote out. He wanted fingerprints to be found on Deanne's suicide notes and on the cassette tape used to record her statements that she had committed perjury. Okay. And he wanted her DNA found on both the envelope and the stamp that would contain the so-called suicide note.
So he's like, in the perfect world, this is what could happen. But
he's been watching a lot of Law and Order.
In reality,
he was like, I got
creating this is not so easy. Yeah. What a douche.
Then he said, if any money was left over after killing Deanne, just in case there's a couple bucks, right? He wanted an additional hit on his former father-in-law, Donna's stepdad, because, quote, he's a son of a gun father-in-law that I dislike. That was his only reasoning.
Wow. Let's just you know what? Can we just bomb everybody?
Right.
I mean, let's just do it all.
I'm just going to have my list of people I dislike, and we're just going to go down the list till I run out of money.
It's like a Christmas list, but it's different.
Right. Exactly. Then there's that neighbor. That neighbor whose tree keeps the leaves go in my yard. We're going to put him on the list.
That motherfucker.
I just was like, and he wrote it all out.
What a
fucking idiot.
Dumb.
So in 2006, after only 4 years in prison, Mark Winger was tried and convicted of solicitation of murder and sentenced to an additional 35 years.
Well, he already had wet life, so.
Right. So, you know, if there was any question of whether or not he really did it, he's kind of a tool.
He's a dumbass. Oh, Jesus.
So now, as of 2021, Bailey is now 25 years old.
Holy cow.
Oh, isn't that crazy? It really messes with my head.
Oh, my God.
And she has reconnected with Donna's family.
Oh, good.
She and Rebecca even went down together and visited Donna's parents in Florida.
Oh, Rebecca's such a good woman. Oh, my God.
She got screwed big time. Yeah. Like, this is not what she signed up for.
She's like, my vision of life was way different than this.
Oh, my God,
Holy
right?
shit.
A quote from Bailey is, "It was so incredible to see that there's this whole big family that loves me, and Sarah Jane still has my baby picture on her kitchen counter with all her other grandkids, even though we've been gone for so long."
Oh my God. That
I got goosebumps.
Chills. Oh, what a sweet grandma.
So, and Bailey's last name is Simic now. So she's got Rebecca's last name. Like, she doesn't have Winger. She doesn't have, but whatever. Yeah. Donna's family has worked together to set up Donna's Fund, which is part of a Women in Distress, an organization that works to provide shelter for women trying to escape abuse.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're trying to do something positive with it. Bailey manages a restaurant and hopes to run her own animal sanctuary one day.
Oh, yes.
Anna, the second daughter, who is now 24, she teaches 7th and 8th grade English.
Oh my gosh.
Maggie is 22, and she's an artist who works with fibers and beads.
Ooh,
and
cool.
Many of her pieces deal with her family's story. And I actually have a photo of a memorial shrine that she made in an art show.
Oh, very cool.
To honor her father's victim. So it's got Donna and Roger in it.
Oh,
I have a picture of that I can post.
Yes.
And then Ben is 21 and he is a forward on his college basketball team. So they have all gone on to, considering like when they were very, very young, all this crap went down,
trauma,
right?
Going through welfare.
Exactly, right? And so now that her kids are safely out of their adolescence and successfully starting out on their own, Rebecca is focused on supporting other children who are growing up with incarcerated parents.
That's amazing.
She's like, this is kind of like, they kind of get forgotten. They kind of get, the focus isn't on them, but they don't have anything now. So she is collaborating with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and she volunteers with Ben. They're so amazing, considering that their dad is such a piece of shit.
Yeah. No shit. Well, and props to Rebecca. I mean, obviously her influence is what carried them through, you know?
Absolutely.
Aww.
Absolutely. So that's, that's the story. That was the twist and turn. So see, it wasn't over after that first.
No, I was like, well, that was a quick episode. I don't know what I'm going to do to draw this out. Add a lot of music.
Right. Exactly. We're going to take another musical interlude.
Go get another drink of wine.
So would you like my sources?
Oh, yeah. Is it that okay, whatever?
Right? No, I don't have them.
Damn it.
I have abc7.com, the 2020 episode, The Perfect Lie. I highly suggest you see it. I'm going to have
to look that up.
Right?
Okay.
Medium.com.
Oh.
No, medium.com. thecinamaholic.com. I don't know why, but it had good information.
Good stuff, you know. Okay. Playboy.com.
thechicagotribune.com and abcnews.go.com. So
I always use them too. They have a lot on ABC.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do.
Oh, so thank you for listening.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Share and like our show.
Yes.
If you do. If you don't, just
share it anyway.
I was going to say, keep it to yourself.
Get that shit out there. I don't care.
Someone's going to like it.
Be like, well, I hate it, but here.
Right. Do that. Yeah, I think they suck. What do you think? Listen.
Yeah, there we go. Put it out there. Let others decide for themselves.
Right. It's like when you're like, oh my God, this tastes awful. Taste it. You're like, it's like that. Right?
Smell my finger. Oh my God, my hand smells. Smell my hand.
And we do it too. I don't know. Let me smell. Oh, that is bad. Like, why did we do that?
So true.
Can't I just take your word for it? No, I need to smell for myself.
No, I've learned these days. I'm like, babe, you keep that to yourself. You just tell me about it. I don't want to know.
Oh my God.
Yes, and check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ODFM podcast.
And you can buy us a coffee.
Yes.
You can buy us a coffee. Buy me a coffee. I never say the right thing.
Buy me a coffee.
I always want to
buy us wine there. I don't know.
Buy us wine. Buy us whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
We'll drink it.
We're cool. Well, maybe.
What?
What else we got? Spreadshirt. Check out our designs on spreadshirt.com/ODFM podcast. We've got all sorts of designs. Send us your sticker designs for anything or fan art. We need it.
To see images from this story, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ODFM Podcast, or on our website at odfmpodcast.com, where you'll also find a link to our merch store, where you can get awesome stuff like t-shirts, mugs, stickers, and more.
And if the weekly podcast just isn't enough to fill your ODFM cup full, join our fan club on Patreon for more content like minisodes, bloopers, and discounts at our merch store. That site is patreon.com/ODFM podcast.
And if you do love our bloopers and need more than we naturally do, which is a lot, buy us a glass of wine at buymeacoffee.com/ODFM podcast. Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries.
Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.